What is going on, Fightful Faithful? Welcome back here to Fightful Scraps for another interview here today with another rising star on the UK scene, LA Taylor. I've spoke to LA before along with her tag team partner, Sky Smithson, in an interview previously. But today it's going to be a solo interview for LA. How are you doing today?
Yeah, fine solo. What is this? But yeah, no, good, thanks. Good. You?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. And will I want to kind of start at the beginning of your career, kind of, and just ask a simple one of was there any inspirations that led to you getting into pro wrestling? Like, was there someone who inspired you to get into it?
That's a really good question. Not specifically. I think it's
Hmm.
just if I look at the women in my life, like my gran, my nan, my mum, my auntie, my sister, all of the women in my family have a certain chip on our shoulder, and I think it was more about proving something to begin with than anything
Yeah.
else. So, yeah, I'm just going to say them.
That's simple. And so moving quite a bit into the future from your debut, but still, we didn't get a chance to talk about it last time, but your time in Japan with
Oh, yeah.
TJPW. What was that like? Because when I do speak to people, the first thing that they do say is it's like a completely different world. Did you feel that while you were over there, or?
I mean, kind of. No, but they drive on the left. So I was like, oh, they just write differently. Uh, they're really lovely people. I just encountered wonderful people and help no matter where I went, and it's a beautiful country and doesn't disappoint at all. Um, yeah, a kind of a different world, but in all of the best ways. So you don't really, it's not really jarring because it's so pleasant. So yeah. Hmm.
And I do have to ask about the in-ring stuff as well, because you had a couple of matches while over there, and you worked some of the like most popular names in TJPW, like Maki for example, Miyu for example. I believe you worked as well. So,
Yeah.
what was that like to work with those ladies? Obviously, with the likes of Maki, she is very how you say silly. So that's something that you and Sky have been doing a lot, especially since turning face. So what's that been like? What was that like? Sorry.
Just great fun. They're fantastic people who, just like any other great professionals, know exactly who they are in the ring and how they want to present themselves, but are also considerate of who you are and how that interacts. So an absolute pleasure. And I always find that these fantastic, famous, and sort of respected people are always the easiest to work with.
Yeah.
So although the situation is can be quite daunting, or wow, this is cool, it's actually some of the easiest times creatively to work with someone. You'll be pushing yourself, but it's yeah, it's just a great experience, and there's not a struggle. It's just a pleasure, you know.
Hmm.
Mm.
And obviously, you're tearing it up in the UK, across Europe right now. But I have to ask:
Ryan.
is there any plans in the near future to possibly go back to Japan, or is that kind of on the back burner for now?
There's no back burner. I don't have any personal control over whether I get booked there or not.
Yeah.
That's all in other people's hands because I don't pay myself.
Yeah.
So no, there's no back burner. But no, I don't get to say when I go. So do I want
Obviously.
to? Yes.
Yeah.
Can I plan that? No.
Yeah. I
Maybe
should have
I
phrased
can
it a
say
little
I want
differently.
it. But yeah, I obviously want to. It's
Yeah.
I would be there for half the year if I could. So but yes, put it out there.
Yeah.
Please have me back.
And so we'll jump to progress a little now. So last time I was chatting to you, it was in the build up to the match with Lana and Rob while
Yes.
teaming with Sky. So in that match, you guys did end up getting the victory, exercise some demons. What did that? Were you happy with that match? Were you happy with everything that came before it and so on? And then obviously in the aftermath, you guys have been just tearing it up.
The atmosphere in the ballroom um, is always fantastic. But for the most part, I'm either ringside, or I have either been ringside, or I've been watching from a little secret spot on the balcony. And I feel the atmosphere of the highest moments of the show from outside of the ring. So during that match, the atmosphere and the build, the whole room was just buzzing, the air was just vibrating. And to get that feeling whilst you're in the ring and whilst the slightest tilt of your head can influence it, it's that was beautiful. That was nice. It was nice to get that opportunity. And the 5 people, referee, the 5 people in there really put everything they could into the moments. And I think it really paid off, and everybody, whether they were in the ring, backstage, or, ticket holders, the reaction and the aftermath has all been very, very positive. And I think, the creative team at Progress and everyone behind the scenes really got behind us and asked us, how should this play out? Like, we were very involved in the creative process, and that was really just fantastic of them to spend that extra time with us to make sure that it really did pay off as well as it could. So those guys know I love them, and I bother them all the time. But yeah, big thanks to those guys. Are just, it's a beautiful, wonderful team from top to bottom. So yeah, you saw it. Yeah, very pleased. And we seem to have built this momentum from then, and the Progress loyals, and even the new fans and the casuals and the people who come in who haven't been there before, everyone watching seems to really be behind me and Sky, and to have really accepted the change of direction. And we're just so grateful for that. We're sort of trying to work out where we go from here, and trying to make sure that we give back for that wonderful reception,
And you mentioned there just about giving back, kind of, and so moving straight on from the Devil on My Shoulder to Wrestling Never Sleeps, that was a big, like, moment for you and Sky, kind of where you guys made up for past actions with Kanji.
Yes.
So, but on top of that, while that was all going on, there was a small issue, should we say, with the ring in that match. But from my point, from my point of view, you all handled it excellently. But what was that like in the moment? Kind of going like, shit, the bottom rope's gone. Was that kind of a thing where you guys were like, right, we just got to adapt, keep going, or was there kind of a mini panic of, oh well, now what?
I think you don't always know what everyone else is going to do in a match. So you have no idea. If it's not you in there at that moment, you don't necessarily always know how it's going to adapt or change. I think that those 5 people and me, those 6 people were all just having such a great time, and everyone else in that ring is such a, I'm not very far into my career, but everyone else there has so much experience, and I just think it would have played out wonderfully either way. It's fantastic that it was Kanji there at the time, because it gave us fantastic moment. Her sort of like ultimate warrior. She's fantastic. I love that girl. Yeah.
And for your future and progress, is that kind of what you and Sky's goal is for the moment? Kind of just right some wrongs from past moments.
I think we're on a journey of redemption. We've had this awakening and a realization of what for me, what my entire career in Progress has been. The last 2 years, we've sort of awoken from and realized, oh, maybe we're on the wrong side of history here. And so we're on this, I always equate it to, the program My Name is Earl, and he makes the list where he has to like right the wrongs and get karma back. Yeah, I feel like we're on this redemption journey. And let's hope we can continue with that and sort of bring some balance to the women's division in Progress, maybe in the tag division in Progress. And yeah, let's hope nobody gets in the way of that. I want my redemption. Don't get in the way. I would hate to have some kind of mountain to climb again, but don't get in our way.
And you mentioned a little earlier about atmosphere and how it can change based off small details. But one moment in that match in particular, Wrestling Never Sleeps, that like I was in the audience, I heard it all. Was when you and Lena Cross went face to face in the center of the ring, and the whole place just went nuts for it. Absolutely crazy for it. Now, I know Lena is heading back to Australia for a little bit, but when she does come back to the UK or to Europe in general, is that a match that's on your bucket list right now?
Let's go. Yes. It's been an interaction that I've definitely wanted for a while, and after speaking to her, she was like, this is going to happen. And it's something that we've both been gunning for a while. I think, although we both look very different, we both have that stature, and we're both known for a certain style and a certain sort of aura. And so obviously the comparisons are there. So what happens when you smash that together? What happens? I want to find out. I want a challenge,
Yeah.
So yeah. No, I'd love it. I know that fans have been not bothering.
Calling for it would be a better word. Yeah.
But fans have been tagging me and going, "Oh, you should put LA Taylor against Lena Cross." I'm like, well, yeah, you should, but
you have
it
got
me sad when it hasn't happened, So I'm like, yeah I know. But
trying here.
Yeah, I'm trying. You see us a progress there. We're trying. So yeah, I hope she's worldwide. She's fantastic. So yeah, I'd love to have that one-on-one time, I think.
And I definitely want to talk to you about WOS. That'll be what we get into next. But I do have one last question for you before we get into that. And you mentioned there 2 women of your stature, and it really does feel like in 2024 there's more tall powerhouse women in wrestling than there ever has been. Like it just in general in powerhouses. So from your point of view, other than Lena, who stands out to you as a dream opponent in that regard, as someone that you can kind of step to and just create a moment with?
Who haven't I faced? Do you know what? Someone I've only faced once, who I would love to meet again, because it's been a couple of years now. I'd love to wrestle Rio again. We've only wrestled once, and she is formidable and powerful and something else. And I'd love to see how that plays out.
Also, just so happens to be the Progress Women's World Champion right now. Nothing to do with that, though, of course.
Well, you know what? I hadn't actually considered that. Very famously, the Progress Women's Champion, yeah. But yeah, that there's no beef there. No. But it would be nice. It would just be nice to see how I measure up.
Yeah. And so we'll get into WOS now. And you're announced as part of the crew that's going to be part of it. Plenty of staples of the UK scene have been announced, including yourself. And obviously with WOS and World of Sport being such ingrained into kind of UK wrestling in general, what does it mean to you to be a part of that?
It is such an opportunity to put your name on a list of greats, on a list of fantastic people. The last time that we saw the sort of one-off special run of WOS was when I had just started training. So that's how short my career has been so far. And you see people like B. Priestley and Kaylee Ray, who are now, look at what they're doing.
Yeah.
They're at the top of the world, So I think to be able to put your name alongside those people is a fantastic honor, and there's such a tradition, and there's such warm thoughts in the British psyche towards the world of sport or the WOS brand. You know, family memories of Christmases and special occasions, and you know, warm memories of time spent with relatives long gone in front of the TV watching historical matches happen between giants of the British industry. You know, so it's surreal. Very surreal. It's a style and type of wrestling that I have always admired and had a great respect for, and I love watching. So yeah, to be included, to be even considered, let alone included, is a great honor and not an opportunity that I will be looking at lightly.
And as far as the other talent that's there, there's quite a few names that you could end up squaring off with. For example, Alex Windsor. Is there anyone in particular that jumps out to you?
Alex Windsor is the one that jumps out at me. She is the Nightshade is a fantastic challenge. We haven't faced each other for a long time. Again, it's been maybe a couple of years. I've wrestled Alex Windsor once. And it was for the Rev Pro Women's Championship when she held it. The footage has been lost to all time. I've been told it was filmed. It's somewhere on a hard drive somewhere. Rev Pro Native. I'd love to see that back one day. It exists somewhere, but no one can find it. And that again. That was so early on. I think even that was a couple of years ago now. So there's a growing theme of these fantastic women who are at the top of their game within British and European wrestling right now, to be able to meet them again and to see how far I've come and to see if I measure up, to see if I can sneak a win, to see if the years of hard work and consistency and training finally pay off.
Yeah.
That's what really interests me. It's what I can really get my teeth into. So yeah, Alex Windsor, I want to see her again. I really desperately want to wrestle her again. Yeah. I reckon she pushes people to the limits. Her work is fantastic.
Absolutely. And there's this specific type of style that WOS has always presented. A little bit silly, a lot more family friendly. Obviously, we've seen Toni Storm and Becky Lynch kind of bring sequences of that to the bigger stages. Is that something that you're kind of looking forward to being involved in, just letting yourself relax a little and have a bit of fun as well while you're in the ring?
I think there's a common misconception that style of wrestling requires relaxing. It's far more challenging.
Fair point.
Far more challenging. I find, so I'm very privileged to work quite regularly at Butlins. And working in the ballroom, despite it sometimes being more physically challenging, or you perhaps take more risk, is a lot easier because that is a group of people who have paid to watch wrestling, who are wrestling fans. You work for a family audience and you've got half of the family who probably don't care about wrestling and don't want to be there. If you can make those people care, or those people look up from their phones, or make those people pay attention, money. The active audience will, and we love them, will always be there. The moment you can engage the audience who are passive, that is when you prove your worth. That's when you sell more tickets. That's when you improve the industry. That's when you prove your worth as an all-round worker. So yes, is it a different style? You push yourself and you challenge yourself in different ways. So relaxing isn't going to come into it. You're just going to be blown up in different ways. Is it more engaging? Is there less swearing? Is it a more appropriate TV product? Yes. But you've seen people like William Regal bring this to your screens on WCW or the WWE, WWF as it was for decades. So I think there is a misconception, and perhaps previously it's been presented in a way that might be perceived as that. But actually what it is just probably a more TV-friendly product rather than an over-18s situation. But yeah, still a chat, no relaxing. I've been training extra for this for months. So yeah, maybe some people can relax. Maybe the audience is more relaxed. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. And before I do let you go, LA, I do just want to ask really quickly. There's another
Sure.
LA in the business, has to say in the business, and I've got to ask there, what's the deal there? Are we ever going to see LA versus LA? Would that be something that you'd be interested in? Obviously, I know it's a big ask, but I think it
Oh
has to
man,
happen.
like that guy's brought the name to a bigger audience. I was born with this name. This is my legal name. So whatever. Go do you. It's my legal name. I cannot be bothered to change my birth certificate to keep someone happy. Good for you. Yeah, what a fantastic worker. Why would you be upset about that? Nobody gets upset that there's a Lana Austin.
Fair point.
Are we going to start playing the Glass Smash when she comes out? Yeah. No, I was
Fair
born with
point.
this name, bro. I'm not changing it. Come on now. If
Fair
everyone
point.
gets upset, they can just call me Taylor. It's fine.
And I will ask, just again, I asked this question when I was talking to you with Sky, and it was very much a question that you both answered kind of as from a tag team perspective. So I'm asking just you as a solo act, what are your goals towards the end of this year and in 2025? Is it gold? Is it just getting better as it comes, more appearances, competing with a Rev Pro again, perhaps?
I got asked to do Rev Pro. I wasn't available. I had to go to Japan. So that was a shame. But yeah, so for me, I'm happiest when I know I'm improving and I can look at my work and be happy. I think it's quite common for a lot of people to feel a bit gross when looking back at your own work, although we have to in order to improve. I would like to get to a point where I can look at my work and be like, oh, that's sick. I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
If I can prove to myself that I can continue to improve and adapt and continue to create opportunities and make the most of opportunities, I'll be happy. I want to go back to Japan. I would like to go to more countries. As far as it is, I have plans to return to France and potentially go to Finland. Those particular dates are being worked out at the moment. But yeah, more opponents, more opportunity, more growth. Gold, great privilege, but to be in the match alone against fantastic opponents, that's the bit that interests me. So
completely fair. And again, Ella, I thank you so much for sitting down for this interview today. You've been amazing. Again, do you want to tell people where to find you and where you'll be wrestling next?
Well, yes. So Friday, I'm not sure when this goes out, but this Friday I will be
try get out there.
Friday I'll be at Eve in London at Big Penny Social, I believe. And then on Saturday I'm in Barcelona, so I might not catch some of you there, but that's where me and Sky will be defending our RCW Tag Team Championships against some fantastic international talent. That's going to be a great show. I love it there. Thank you, Barcelona. Then the following week, you can find me at the WOS tapings. They're in Norwich on Saturday the 14th. There are tickets available if you pop over to my social media by finding LA Taylor PW. You will find recent links to money off and deals for any remaining tickets. The following day, I am in Cardiff wrestling a returning Rain Leverkusen, which I'm very excited about because we had a match at Pro Wrestling Chaos prior to our injury that Trent Seven really liked and gave us great thumbs up for. So I'm like, let's run that back because that was a great time. I absolutely adore wrestling her, so I'm so excited she's back. That's for Brit King Pro. And yeah, after that, I'm actually going on holiday for a week. and we'll see what happens after that.
Well earned at that point, I'd say. But again, thank you for sitting down with me, Ella. Guys, make sure to go check her out on all social media. Make sure to get tickets there because, like I said before, she is one of the hottest rising stars in the UK. If you are new to Fight for Scraps, guys, like, subscribe, and comment down below what other interviews you want to do. I've set up an interview with Karen Noir, so that should be an interesting one considering he's
I love that guy.
Yeah, but everyone's been saying to me, well, he's mute, so you're going to have a problem. So we'll see how that goes anyway. But yeah, guys, like I said, like, subscribe, and see you guys next time.